All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the college football playoff bracket. So I'll be going over my thoughts on the college football playoff bracket. Did Notre Dame get snubbed of the playoffs? No. Honestly, I think the committee made a great decision from leaving Notre Dame out of the dance this year for the college football playoffs, and here's why. Notre Dame went 10-2, guys, right? You're not in a conference, you're an independent college football program. Look at their two best team. Look at the games against the two best teams that they played this year. They lost those games against the Miami Hurricanes and Texas A&M. Their first two games of the season, they lost against those two teams. Now, if you could have defeated one of those teams, then we could possibly be having a different conversation. But they didn't. And then you look at their resume at 10-2. It's not the sexiest 10-2 resume because the only ranked opponents that they defeated was USC and Pittsburgh. So everyone else, you look at the 12-team bracket, everybody else has a valid reason to be in the college football playoffs this year. Whether you like it or hate it, Tulane won their conference championship. They deserve to be in. JMU won their conference championship. They deserve to be in. The only argument that you could have is Notre Dame being in over Alabama. And I think that's invalid because Alabama, yeah, they don't have the better record. They went 9-3. But at least Alabama's 3 losses were against conference opponents. So those are valid losses playing the SEC. And they were just competing to win the SEC championship at least. Notre Dame not being in a conference, I think that hurts their case. And who's to blame for that but the program? Why can't they join the SEC? Why can't they join the Big Ten? Why can't they join the Big 12? Why can't they be a part of the ACC? Like, this is Notre Dame's fault, I think, at the end of the day, because you're not playing top-tier competition all year long, and you lost your two biggest tests early in the year. And I hate the idea of Marcus Freeman and company wanting to end their season on a bad note like this. Just because you are ungrateful for making the college football playoffs does not mean you have to shut down your season and focus for the 2026 season. That doesn't make any sense to me because at least you could still compete in a bowl game. You go on a vacation basically for 5 to 6 days to make your program better and compete for a bowl championship. They probably could have competed in the Pop-Tart Bowl against BYU for all we know. That probably could have been a possibility. And what about these seniors that are still trying to put out film to prove that they could be potential NFL material? Because at the end of the day, not everybody makes the NFL if you're a college football player. So this could have been a last chance game for some seniors, some players to get some looks to go into the transfer portal. Like, I think this was a selfish decision by Notre Dame to just shut their football season down just because they didn't get into the dance. And you gotta have some real requirements to get in anyway. This year wasn't good enough at 10-2. You just didn't have a good, sexy resume with the record that you had. I think it's unacceptable. And at the end of the day, they're going to end their season with 0 hardware because not only did you not compete for a conference championship because you're not in a conference, you're an independent program. Not only that, but you're not going to possibly win a bowl game. That's Notre Dame for you guys. I think this is the right call that they miss the college football playoffs. My sleeper team for the college football playoffs is going to be Texas A&M. It's going to be Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a real threat to win it all this year. They're going to be my sleeper team. Texas Tech, I do believe, have a legitimate chance to win it all. I think this is a team nobody's going to want to play in the college football playoffs. If you're Oregon and JMU, the winner of that is going to have to play Texas Tech. I would be shaking in my boots the way how this Texas Tech team is playing right now. I mean, they've been playing lights out all year long. 12-1, just won the Big 12 championship in dominating fashion against BYU at AT&T Stadium. Like, their defense is legit. Their front seven is amazing. They have the best linebacking core in the country, in my opinion, led by Jacob Rodriguez and Ben Roberts. Like, you can't find a better linebacking room than what you'll find at Texas Tech this year. And Benjamin Morton at quarterback, he's got an arm. He's a good player. They can run the football. All of their wins this year have been by 20 points or more. I think Texas Tech is going to be a problem for anybody to run into this college football postseason. They're definitely somebody that I wouldn't say a Cinderella team because they're a team that earned the bye with the 4th seed. But this could be a magnificent run for Texas Tech. Well, you could because they just won their first Big 12 championship in program history for football. This could be a Cinderella run for them. So I think this is a team that nobody's going to want to see. We'll see how they perform in the dance, but Texas Tech is going to be my sleeper team. And then last thing I'll cover here, should Georgia be a higher seed than Ohio State? I debut. Oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm coughing, I get tongue tied. Realistically, I do believe that Georgia should be a higher seed than Ohio State. Now, both finished 12-1 this year, but Georgia just did win the SEC title. Ohio State did just lose the Big Ten championship against Indiana. And when you look at the resumes, Georgia has a more impressive resume this year, defeating teams like Tennessee, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia Tech, and Alabama in the SEC championship game. And they defeated Alabama in dominating fashion. And you look at Ohio State, they are the reigning defending champions, yes. But the only two teams that they beat, good teams that they beat this year, were Texas in the opener and Michigan. I just think it's not really that big of a deal, but I think Georgia should be the higher seed than Ohio State. I think they should be the second seed, and Ohio State should be the third seed. But it could benefit for Georgia because they'll play the winner of Ole Miss, who no longer has Lane Kiffin as their head coach, and he took a lot of personnel that was a part of the offensive coaching staff. The winner of Ole Miss and Tulane. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this should be interesting college football playoffs. But those are my thoughts on the teams that did not get in, my sleeper team, and the seeding, if they got it right or wrong, heading into the college football playoffs.